Hi guys, it's Candace here, Cooking Hell Books. I'm here with a quick book haul. Yesterday I ran to the used bookstore and had a coupon and got quite a good deal on some books. I had to put back about 5-ish or so this was my whittled down list. The first book I got was The Sherlockian by Graham Moore. I hadn't heard of this book before, but anything Sherlock, especially if it's more steeped in truth, I really will like. So this book seems to follow two timelines, one in 1893, when Arthur Conan Doyle kills off Sherlock Holmes, and they say after Doyle dies, there seems to be a missing diary. And so then in 2010, there is some sort of a club going on called the Society of the Baker Street Irregulars, and there's a gentleman in this society that wants to go looking for the missing diary. I don't know if I summarized that very well, but it looks interesting and enjoyable, and I'm a sucker for Sherlock, so I will be reading this. I also picked up the Amber Spyglass by Pullman. Now I have all three of the books. I'm just waiting for a time to read them. I really wanted to get to them as Dust was coming out, but a bunch of buddy reads and things have taken precedence, which I'm completely fine with. But I am excited to get to these, hopefully shortly. The next book I got, this is Not Your Eyes, look how blurry it is The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. I've heard really good things about this, especially Mel told me it should be like required, Mel from Mel's Bookland Adventures, like required reading. And actually this is like a nice floppy paperback version of it, and so I really do want to read this book and see what all the hubbub's about. I got a nice little fluffy book. I know this was at my library, but sometimes you need something like this, and I'm going to be going on a trip soon, so I got the Little Paris Bookshop by Nina George. I'm a sucker for books about librarians or bookstores, and this has something to do with a bookstore, a floating bookstore on the barge. This says, it's a love letter to books meant for anyone who believes in the power of stories to shape people's lives. So a little fluff sometimes is needed. I also picked up the Lacuna by Barbara Kingsolver. I've read most of Barbara's other books. I can't believe this is the book I haven't read yet, because it is told in a variety of formats, as well as it has Diego Rivera and Frida Kahlo in it, which I do love Frida Kahlo. Recently I saw Jenna Insert Literary Pun review this, and then April from Getting Higgy with It had picked it up too. So it's funny how books come in and out of BookTube like that, but I'm really eager to get to this. It sounds really like it's up my alley for sure. And the last book I got was The Angel's Game by Carlos Ruiz Zafon. I don't think I've talked about this very much, but The Shadow of the Wind was one of my favorite books before BookTube. I really love that book. In fact, I can't believe I haven't reread it, but I haven't read the rest of the books, and I really want to, that he's written. It is supposed to be in a series. So I might pick up this book first, just because I loved The Shadow of the Wind so much. Was able to pick up one more thing. They're just kids' books, but as you guys know, I love Beatrix Potter, and I also love the Brambly Hedge books, and they happen to have all of the Brambly Hedge books there, which I grew up on these books, and I think they're great inspiration to, as a kid, I don't know, the graphics really spoke to me. So these include The Spring Story by Jill Barklem, They're all by Jill Barklem. Summer Story, Autumn Story, Winter Story, The Secret Staircase, which was one of my favorites when I was a kid. I love it when they do sort of like a cutaway of a tree or the ground like this, with all the little rooms and things in the inside. The High Hills, Sea Story, and Poppy's Babies. I have been collecting these books, and there they all were, all in one format, all the same, everything. I couldn't believe it. So it was a good haul, and I'm very excited to get to reading to these. Talk to you later. Bye.